rebuild of the favorites. We here for the latest. South side or the north side, not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams. Both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball, but we don't put the wrong strings. Yeah. It's that time of the year now. Wrigley or Gantes or the whole league that we hear now. New show with a new mood. Discussions and interviews. Straight rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife.
What's going on, everybody? The show is going back to its roots right now. Me and Aldo.
Talking about some bad baseball teams.
Talking about bad baseball teams, and it's just me and Aldo. I mean, if this isn't the OG Pinwheels and Ivy episode, I don't know.
I mean, it's
what
literally
is.
flipped. It was 2018. The Cubs were like supposed to be competing, and it's getting around the time of August.
Yep.
They're
And the White
starting.
Sox were rebuilding.
I think this is right around the time about that Bryce Harper walk off. Or no, that was 2019. Whatever. The Cubs were like on the way down.
That is like one of the most infamous Pinwheels episodes ever.
I think that was in 20. Actually, this might be a better comparison. I think that was 2019 when the Cubs were like kind of the Sox, kind of underachieving, and then it was around August. The Cubs were melting down, and Bryce Harper hit that grand slam, and I was like, "No, it's fine. Like it's just a loss." But no, it was basically after that.
It was like that Simpsons episode when she's like, "You can actually see where his heart is breaking."
Yeah,
like that was.
So I remember you were like, I wasn't really like the Cubs were up by 3 runs in the ninth, and I was like, they got this one, it's fine. And then they'd load the bases. Harper hits the grand slam, and I at that point I wasn't following along anymore, and I think you were, and you're like, "Oh no."
Yeah,
I'm like, no, don't tell me.
I think he was on my fantasy team or something because for some reason I got to know. Anyways, hey everybody, hi.
It's reminiscent.
3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday, August 11th. Happy birthday, Mrs. Zoe. And you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I'm your host, Matt Sawaski, aka Southside Zoe, and with me since the beginning, my OG partner here, Mr. Aldo Soto.
I have good news for you. Well, I know you don't care anymore, but I think Nick Madrigal might be on his way back.
That's good.
Exciting.
I'm happy for you guys.
As you guys still need a second base?
Fids is I don't know, doing something with his rockstar lifestyle out there in Vegas. And NASCAR Mitch will be joining us momentarily. He's running a little late, but yeah, it's an OG podcast. Man, we've been doing this for almost 5 years. That's crazy.
5 years.
That's nuts. But anyways, we got the TA injury to talk about. We have, for some reason, the White Sox are still in this division. The Cubs had the Field of Dreams game. There's a lot of stuff going on. We're going to get into all that. Plus, God only knows what. So let's tap this keg. As always, the show is brought to you by Pinwheels and Ivy. Well, it is brought to you by Pinwheels and Ivy, but this show is brought to you by Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com. Make sure you download the app, turn on the push notifications so you can be notified when anybody else on the Bears requests a trade. Sports Mockery and sportsmockery.com. So, yeah, man. We'll start with TA. That's the big news. It's the big news. So, I got to talk about something real quick with this, though. Actually, before we go with TA, I want to address something. So last week, I came out here. I was pretty pissed off about the trade deadline, about what the White Sox are just a perpetual ball of frustration right now for all of their fans. Like, it's so hard to, like, get excited about this team or anything because anytime you think the White Sox have, turned it around, 15 times this season. You know what I mean? Like, it's so annoying. So it all came to a head last week. I was really pissed off. I used my dad voice and everything. Like, I got really upset about everything. And I went to Negative Zoe. Negative Zoe sucks. Because I'll tell you what, although I'll tell you right now, between the show we did last week and right now, I had a pretty shitty week. And I feel like it's because I brought that, negative, mojo towards me. And, I just had, this Charlie Brown rain cloud over my head for a week. And so I was thinking about it today and getting ready for this show. And I'm like, I got to swim against the current like I usually do. It's really easy to go with everyone when shit's going bad and be like, oh, this team fucking sucks, blah, 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 blah. It's tough to still be that guy that stays optimistic. And that's usually me. Yeah. I'm usually the optimistic guy. I'm pretty realistic, I like to think, but if one way or the other, it's more optimistic. What up, NASCAR?
Hey, sorry about the delay there. I got stuck in traffic on the way back from the gym.
That's actually super ironic because you're NASCAR Mitch. But anyways, so I'm gonna go my normal way here, Mitch. What I'm talking about is positive Zoe is back. I'm not gonna be the negative guy. I got it all out of my system last week. The White Sox are, as we're recording this, 2.5 games out of winning the division. They have on paper what is a very winnable schedule. And also, I know my guy Herb said it on his show CHGO last night, and I was listening to it this morning. And I was laughing my ass off. Those guys are funny as fuck. But I don't even really sweat the Twins at this point. I think the Twins are cheeks, dude. Besides, like, their 3 superstars, I don't think that it's the Indians or the Guardians that make me nervous.
Yeah.
Especially
just really annoying.
That dude that weighs like 50 pounds, that pitcher for him.
McKenzie, yeah.
Dude, he keeps throwing, shutout 1-run games for him. Like he's finally becoming that dude that everyone thought he would become. And like best time ever. So they got him going. They got Bieber, who's not Cy Young Bieber, but still pretty damn good.
Solid Bieber, yeah.
And then they got who's the guy that I love using in MLB The Show? Class A, coming out of the bullpen. Yeah. That dude's a stud. And then that asshole white dude that they got that like gets all fired up. Yeah,
Karen check.
Yeah, he gets all fired up after everything. It took him a year to figure out how to pitch without sticky stuff, and now all of a sudden he's good again. And then they have one of arguably probably a top 10, top 15 player in all of the league in Jose Ramirez.
I was gonna say they're doing this too with Jose Ramirez. Has been like kind of not bad, but he just hasn't been himself for like a couple of months.
Right.
And they're still winning games.
Yeah. So I'm more worried about Cleveland than I am the Twins, for sure, like without a doubt.
Well, especially since Minnesota, we play them the last 3 games of the year. I think we still have 3 series left against them. And so that's a great way for like 2 teams, playing 500 ball. That's a great way for Cleveland to kind of separate the gap, especially if they're beating up on each other.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, yeah, I guess I didn't even think of it that way because obviously someone's got to lose. So they're going to gain ground as long as they keep winning.
And the worst thing they can do is just split against each other, which it's kind of been the White Sox MO all year.
Yeah, well, if it goes like it usually does, they'll lose the first game of the series. And then all they got to – and this has been pointed out to me by a couple people. They can literally just win every series for the rest of the season. Like, they don't have to sweep. They just need to win series. And I think they'll win the division.
Yeah.
Man, they're still pretty annoying, man. They can't score runs.
It's so annoying. And that's the other thing. Like, so the White Sox pitching staff has been really good.
They've been good most of the season.
Like, people are getting pissed at Lance Lynn last night. I'm like, homie only gave up 4 runs. Like, that's not a lot of runs, especially in the American League. Like,
against the Royals too.
Yeah, I think league average is like 3.5 runs. Like, he's just like, he's doing what he needs to do. It's not his fault that you guys can't score more than 3 runs a game.
That was one of his better starts.
Yeah, I mean the one bomb the dude hit, the cutter didn't cut as much, but he was cruising. I mean, arguably hindsight's always 2020, but maybe pull him after 5, but he got touched up in the 6th.
Well,
but
I was going to ask you, Zoe. I know you're back to positive Zoe, and you want to return to that. But how much of a gut punch was the Tim Anderson injury?
Something was wrong with him. You put those numbers in our chat, and I tweeted them out. Like, something's wrong. Obviously, something was wrong. Tim Anderson is an all-star starter. Tim Anderson is arguably the best player on his team, and he just was not playing well. And I know he's got shit outside of fucking baseball. I know all that crap, but like physically, you could tell something was wrong. And like, it kind of gets annoying when people keep bringing up the stuff outside of baseball because you don't know. Like, all these people tweeting about him, you've never talked to Tim Anderson. You don't know like how this affects him. Like, if he's just like rolling off his back. He showed up to the All-Star game with his wife and the kids on the red carpet. Like, you don't know what's going on behind those scenes. So I don't really like to assume that. I feel like that's really murky waters to get into.
Also, do we even know if that's true or not? I mean, like, it did not look like the most reliable source. And I know no one from the White Sox going to confirm anything, but like, I'm not certain that it actually
I mean,
happened.
until that kid comes and they run a DNA test, nobody really knows.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the long and short of it.
there's a lot of gold diggers out there.
I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, but she could be 100% right. We don't know. That's my point. We don't know.
I'll also say this too for Tim. I think we've been really spoiled by Tim Anderson the past couple of years because you say he's had a bad season, and I agree he has not been the same Tim Anderson. He's turned into a singles hitter mostly, so you can tell something's up. Like you said, he's still batting 300. Right. So like he's still getting it done. That is a stud, and even with all the distraction going on off the field and the injured hand, I mean, he's still batting 300. So he's been a productive guy at the top of the lineup. So that definitely is a big blow, even with the fact that, he's taking a step down last year. He usually hits like 340, which isn't normal. So I think a lot of Sox fans have been spoiled by how good he's been these past 3 seasons.
And then the picture video of him flying commercial by himself like pops on Twitter. I retweet. I get fucking crucified for it. Like, that's not even him. You don't know what I'm like, holy shit. Like, I was having a really shitty day too, and then all these people started coming at me. I was just like, fuck off, everyone. Like, I just retweeted a video. I said, uh-oh. That's all I said. I didn't even get deep into it. And it turned out that it wasn't uh-oh, because he was flying home separate from the team to go see a specialist because he's out 6 weeks for his goddamn hand. So I was not wrong for saying uh-oh there. So yeah.
I was gonna say, I just didn't get the. I mean, I get it because it's one of your star players. He's well liked for the most part by the fan base. So I get why fans got defensive. But at the same time, the amount of people who were like, and then the jokes were like, oh, I saw Tim Anderson on the L. I saw Tim Anderson on whatever, the red line, the green line. It's like, I mean, guys, that was Tim Anderson. This wasn't some giant conspiracy.
Team issued travel gear, and it was funny as hell. I thought it was funny at first because Sean Anderson from CHGO and some people are like, if you freeze it and look at the weather report for Bangor, Maine on the TV screen, it actually matches up. And then someone looked up flights and they're like, well, yeah, it looks like it was 9:36 and there was a 10:20 flight. So yeah, that checks out. I was like, damn, people. I just saw a video of the dude not with the team and I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. I didn't think it was baby mama. People just took it and ran with it with their own imaginations.
Yeah.
And I was just like, bro, I just thought it was weird that he was not with the team. And it turns out it is bad. You know what I mean? It was just holy shit, though. I will never do that again. I'll tell you that right now. Because it was just, I wanted to fucking bury some people's faces. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, he tore, basically it's the ligament right under your middle finger right here. Pretty important, controls the whole hand. Oh, I'm sure he's gonna flick a lot of people off with it. It's gonna be awesome. But
you're like that guy from Seinfeld that flips off George Costanza. Yeah. And he gave me the bird. And it's because he's got the cast. It's gonna be.
So he's out for 6 weeks. I mean, if the 6 weeks timeline is confirmed, he'll be back right before the important series at the end of the year. But I mean, you got taking rehab starts and I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Because there's two things make this concerning. 4 to 6 weeks is pushing it pretty close. If he goes the full 6 weeks, he'll be back September 21st, roughly, if you're going 3 weeks from today.
Shout out.
Because it's the lead hand, it's left hand too, gripping the bat. That's significant. So you want it to be 100%. And if it takes any longer than 6 weeks, as we saw with Eloy, he was supposed to be back at a certain time, and that got pushed back 3 weeks. So you never know what could go wrong in rehab. The AAA season ends September 28th. So he might not even get a rehab start if something goes wrong or to even fine tune it. So you could be getting a rusty Tim Anderson either late in the season or the postseason if something in rehab goes wrong. So it's kind of a concerning timeline looking at it. Hopefully it's on the 4 weekend, but something like that, especially for your lead hand needing to swing the bat, it is a little concerning. I think it's probably going to take the full 6 weeks.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm trying to stay up on it, but it's going to be a long road back for Tim. I don't think it's going to be as quick and easy as people think it's going to be.
And they were saying he might need surgery too. Is
there a chance that he's
having surgery tomorrow?
He is. Yeah.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
so was that already built in within the 4 to 6? That was I was confused about.
He did. Yeah.
The surgery was built into the 4 to 6 time.
Okay. I will have to say, Tim Anderson. Whenever this is different. It's a hand injury. Obviously, gripping the bat, that's a bigger deal with other, I think, leg stuff that he's had. But I feel like every time he does go to the injury list, he does come back like right at the time. So maybe it's just a quick healer. Hopefully, if you're the Sox.
Some guys are just like that. That's 100% true. Some guys heal quicker than others, but for a team that is struggling mightily to put up offense, losing a guy like TA right now is huge. And like one thing that's been constant with this team all season, and you could see it when you watch games on TV, like, you know, like everybody that watches every game, like Mitch and myself and all this stuff, like the straight body language on some of these guys, they just look like Bernie Womack's, like Weekend at Bernie's, like death. Yeah. And Tim's always been like that straw that stirs the drink and like the energizer guy and, you know, the change the game and all that stuff. And he's gone, man. He won't even be in that locker room or that dugout. And, you know, Fids brought it up in our chat too. Like, there could be a good thing. Like, maybe this forces someone else to like kind of take over that role, or maybe they rally around it and they're like, let's get in the playoffs so when TA gets back, he can join us. Let's win the division for TA or something like that. Or I don't know if I see that happening though. Like, I don't know who else would. Luis Robert doesn't talk. Eloy's just a goofball. Like, no one's gonna get like fired up from Eloy. Like, Jose Abreu does his thing, but when you've read interviews from other players when asked about his leadership, he's more of a like grab you and pull you to the side and like just talk to you and be like, what are you doing? You know, he's not like a big rah-rah guy. You know what I mean? And like that leadership, there's a time and a place for that kind of leadership. I am not
Keuchel back, whip them boys into shape.
But it's just no, we don't want the Cubs.
Did you see? Speaking of Dallas Keuchel, one of the groups, the White Sox group, and his mom was in there, and she was talking shit about the White Sox organization. Like, your son sucks at pitching. He's like, well, actually, it was the White Sox fault. They kept changing everything that he does well, and that's why he pitched so poorly. It was kind of funny to see.
And that's why he pitched bad for Arizona, and that's why he pitched bad for. They just kept following him around. But anyways,
smart. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You can finish.
No, yeah. I mean,
Josh Harrison seems like a rah-rah guy.
Harrison's doing okay, and I think Harrison has it in him to, you know, rally the troops a little bit. And you know, we see Sosa get the call up, hit a home run in Game 2 of the doubleheader on Tuesday. He hit a bomb too. I mean, he was an absolute piss missile. But like right now on Wednesday night, he's starting at shortstop. Maybe. Again, like Sean and Herb on CHGO pointed out, maybe bring some of that youthful energy, you know, maybe a little jump start in the dugout. And, you know, Lurie Garcia's hobbling around. He looking like me playing a 16-inch softball doubleheader out there yesterday. He just looks like he's just in pain. Like, everything hurts. Like, his hair hurts. Like, he's like, bro, I was supposed to be a super utility guy and you got me playing every day. It's like bullshit. Maybe Lurie finds himself on a 10-day IL, which after Tony La Russa cries for 24 hours straight, maybe they call up another, like one of the Sanchez kid, or get Jake Berger back up. Maybe just something to like pump some life back into his team. All right, Johnny Cueto just got out of a first and third with one out, got the double play. Sox are still down 1-0.
So good, man.
Johnny Cueto, double play specialist. I think that's his third one he's spun today. Good for him.
Yeah. So for everything that we've given Hahn shit for this season, which he's deserved all the shit, picking Johnny Cueto off the street was arguably one of the best moves of baseball season. Johnny Cueto has been an innings eater. He's been a stud. He doesn't give up more than like 2 runs a game. Like,
Speaking of giving Hahn shit, and that kind of is a good segue to the point I was going to make with Sosa. Because of the lack of moves they made this offseason and at the trade deadline, right now, to replace Tim Anderson, you got an unproven rookie in Sosa. And I hope he brings energy back to the lineup. I think you look at his numbers in AA and AAA this year, he's a pretty polished hitter. He's got some pop, so hopefully he can bring some energy. But still unproven. I think it's really unfair to put it all on his shoulders, considering the fact, you know, he's a rookie now in the middle of the division race.
You can't do that.
Totally unfair. No. So if he's struggling, he's probably going to struggle. Pitchers are going to adjust to him. So. And then you also got Lurie Garcia, who, out of the 6 positions he plays, his worst fielding percentage is at shortstop. And, you know, we've all seen what he's done with the bat. And as you mentioned, he's all banged up. So you got Lurie Garcia and an unproven rookie. So it's not a whole lot of good options. And I think a lot of that goes not even just at the short, but like the lack of depth and offensive options they have because of the lack of moves Hahn made. It's coming back to bite him here. So
I think that's a very good thing. That point that you pulled up though is I hope Sox fans don't do this. It is a very unrealistic thing to call up a kid that's never been in Major League Baseball and think he's going to come up and replace your all-star.
Totally. You got to temper your expectations for him. Yeah.
Like if he is like on Tuesday in game 2 of the doubleheader when he played second base, he went 2 for 4 with a home run. If he can produce at that clip, I'm not saying home run every time, but get a hit or 2 every game, that's huge. As long as he doesn't completely just fuck up the shortstop position, I think that's fine. That's his job as a call-up. Like, just be serviceable, maybe bring something to the table. Maybe he gets hot. We've seen it before. Guys get called up and they go on a little heater. But no, for the comment section, I do not want Simmons on the goddamn White Sox.
Stop it. No.
Stop it. All of you. Ryan, Yumper, all of you. Stop it.
we just want you guys to share the misery in seeing him try to hit.
For those of you not watching, in the comment section right now, all these Cubs fans are peppering us with, don't you guys want Simmons?
I mean, don't you want a Gold Glove defensive shortstop though? Come on.
No.
What have the White Sox been missing all year? Good defensive play.
Who did they put up his numbers that he hit worse than so far?
John Lester.
John Lester. There you go. Yeah. John Lester.
No. Okay. Like, again, he's a professional athlete. I get he has some talent. He got to the major leagues. He's had a long career.
He was good with the Angels.
The way he bats, you're like, this guy sucks. Just the way he holds the bats. Like, no, this guy, like, has he picked up a bat ever before in his life? I don't get how Anderson Simmons, I get it. His defense has been elite for several years, but holy shit, see that guy try to hit.
If you're gonna go pick someone up off the street, I'd rather them roll the dice. And he's also been horrible, but go get Didi then.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
he can't play shortstop for shit now either, but maybe he can hit a couple home runs.
I mean, have you looked at Didi's numbers list? Like 2 years, Didi's been bad. He blamed it on the vaccine too.
I did.
He blamed him becoming a dog shit baseball player on the vaccine. And
Didi is another.
That's why the Royals are so good. None of their players got vaccinated.
That's right.
That's why they're just crushing it right now. The rest of the players.
I think Didi is another great Bob Nightingale special. I think he praised him.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
What was it? He compared him to Babe Ruth.
Yep. Sure did.
Nice call, Bob.
As we're doing this live on Wednesday night, Sosa just got smoked by 4 straight fastballs. The only one he let go was the one that was over his head.
I have to say, I think Lenine, after he was called up and then didn't play and then he got sent back down, I think he struggled for a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, and
a little bit, yeah.
This kind of puts a little bit more fuel into those rumors you hear about Sanchez not really being a team guy, that Sosa's the one that keeps getting the call up and not Sanchez.
Yeah.
So I've heard rumblings that there's some maturity issues with Sanchez, and he's also been struggling a little bit. He's cooled off quite a bit.
Yeah, but Sosa was still hitting despite his struggles, which just goes to show how good he was hitting in the minors. He was still batting over 300, 16 home runs. I think he had 53 RBIs, so he was still swinging a pretty good bat, especially early on. But
you know what? I was actually gonna tweet, and then I was like, "This isn't. People will not see this as funny," and I'll actually get smoke for this. I was like, "Call up Montgomery." But I was like, people won't think it's funny.
Hey, who brought it up a couple weeks ago? You guys are making fun of me.
Yeah.
Did you see Mini Tatis got released too?
Oh no, that guy's who's gonna sign him?
Carry over, I guess.
How has he not been signed by every team in Major League Baseball?
I know.
The White Sox got rid of another Tatis.
Just watch it be the Padres again.
Yeah.
As it turns out, the old man Tatis claims that he's better than Junior. So
that's what Lonzo or what Lamar or the bald dad did that with all his sons too. He just kept saying the younger one was better than the next one because he was trying to build up that hype train.
Yeah.
All right, Luis Robert back with another double, baby. All right, he's been fine. Him and Abreu have been fine.
Him and Abreu been coming around.
August Abreu's been a stud. I mean, not that we're surprised. I mean, he's been doing this whole career, but
Moncada's actually been decent too. He had a home run yesterday, but it's so.
Moncada yesterday, I think he hit the ball in game 1. He hit 3 line drives, or 2 of them could have, or at least one of them could have been a home run. But that guy hits a lot into some bad luck too.
Oh yeah, damn! Eloy got his batting average all the way up to 300.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you got to remember he didn't play a lot.
I know, but
it was a 2-game stretch where it jumped up because he was 3 for 3 one game, and
because when he came back from injury, he was at 142.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, that's kind of a big jump. But
He's been hot though, Eloy. The power's starting to return too.
That's
back Sunday home games. He's hit a bomb. So there you go.
Need that big time. But see, this is a prime example of this game that's going on while we're doing this show. They're in Kansas City. They're bad. They're facing a lefty who they usually torch, and they're losing 1-0 in the fifth.
You know what's coming back? Lefties this year.
No.
The play to remember if they end up losing this game, especially by 1 run, first inning, they got the bases loaded with 1 out, and there was that soft hit line drive to left field by Gavin Sheets. And the catcher, whoever was playing out there, was some left fielder. He was a converted catcher, I guess. He caught it thinking there's 2 outs and started running in, and Abreu didn't tag. He slipped at third, and another minor base running thing where he wasn't ready to tag up, and that cost him a run. Because if he was ready to tag, they score easily on that play.
Again, why this team is just ridiculously frustrating.
Gotta make an example.
They are in the booty cheeks division of Major League Baseball that a team like this can win this division.
I wanted to ask you guys, because I really haven't seen, there's been maybe a tweet or two from Jordan Lazowski, our guy, Jordan.
Yeah.
How's Yasmani Grandal doing? Bad?
Real bad. People are talking about
Seb and the Seb. Everyone knows I like Seb, but bias aside, I would start Seb over Grandal in a playoff game. The playoff started today.
People were talking yesterday about how they wish he would pull a John Kruk and retire after the inning. It's that bad, dude. He
looks lost up there.
He looks like he is running on E. You want to talk about an old man at a 16-inch softball doubleheader? Oh my goodness gracious!
Sosa is 1 swing away from tying him in home runs this season. Let that sink. Yuri Garcia has more home runs than Yasmani Grandal.
It's really he had that one game. I forgot what day it was when he went from first to third on a single, and then he scored from second or something, and everyone's like, "Look at this! Look at the wheel!" He was in the ice bath for he told Beefloaf to scooch over, and he sat in that ice bath with him for at least 3 days straight. Beef said he went on vacation. He was really in an ice tub with Yasmani Grandal for 3 days.
Even that was like watching mud slide uphill. That burst of slowness. It's frustrating watching him run.
I might be the slowest human being on the face of this planet. I am not a fast.
Are you going to do the Herb?
No, because there's no point. I'm not even going to sniff it. I am slow, dude. When I was in Little League, I got thrown out from the outfield tagging from third in Little League.
No.
That should never happen. But anyways, I understand. I embrace my slowness. That's why I don't run. That's why I play sports where you don't run. I play golf and 16-inch softball. I don't run in 16-inch softball. I go to first base and they give me a pitch runner. Anyways, Yaz looks really, really slow. And you got to hit the ball far and hard if you're going to be that slow.
I mean, if he doesn't turn around these final, 6-7 weeks of the season, he is getting into Dallas Keuchel hatred territory heading into the final year of his deal.
But
I don't think he can get to that level just because one, I think he's a good clubhouse guy.
That's true.
And he's done more
in
3 years
on field wise.
And I mean, very rarely when you sign a guy to a deal more than 2 or 3 years, do they live up to the entire the first couple of years with Yaz were really good. He was really good.
Second half of last season, he was excellent. You could argue he was the best hitter.
I think he's been good for 100 games. It was 2020 season.
I still don't think I really still just don't think it was a waste of a kind. I don't think it was a bad signing.
No, I think that was a good signing.
I don't think it was a bad sign. I know Barstool Carl, he's a big Cubs guy, likes to stir up the White Sox shit when he, and he was trying to tell everyone it was a terrible signing in Sox. I don't think it was that bad of a signing.
Well, I mean, if he's Yasmani Grandal, if this year he's still, if he just is bad, I think you could make because he was only good for a half a season.
Yeah, but he was really good for that half a season. The fact he missed he missed a bunch of games due to injury, and he was still second on the team in home runs. He was top, I think he led the MLB in walks. And he was a stud during the play, down the stretch to the postseason. Raised his. I think he was batting over 300 that second half of the year.
Yeah, and you could almost argue the Sox don't even I don't know. They wouldn't have been as good of a season without him. I wouldn't say they wouldn't make the playoffs without him because they won that division pretty handily. But
this year, he hasn't helped.
August, September, Yaz kind of carried the offense for a while.
Without a doubt. I don't know. At that time he was the best free agent catcher in the market, whatever. He was one of the best they made a splash. Has it been perfect? No, but they just put a stat: lowest ERA from starting pitchers since July 23rd, and White Sox are third in the league. Their pitching's been phenomenal.
Yeah,
It's just,
no, the pitching is unbelievable. But like that's what's frustrating about like especially this stretch that everybody's talking about the below 500 teams.
yes.
Like you should be like just kicking everybody's ass, and
Yep.
it's just not happening.
No, and they're going out there and they're holding these offenses to 2-3 runs a game, and the White Sox are losing 2-3-0 or 2-3-1, and it's like,
And again, no power.
no, none, complete power. Someone put up and now the beat writers are getting in on it, which means it's bad. But I think it was Van Schwouchen or Swouchen, whatever.
Mentioned from yeah.
He put out a tweet saying like Aaron Judge just hit his 45th home run. That's more than the White Sox top 4 home run hitters combined. It's like, Jesus Christ, man.
No bueno.
Brutal. Like when they hit a home run now, it's like seeing a unicorn. You're like, oh shit. Like, oh my God. Like Moncada's home run yesterday, I thought my phone was like broke. Like I thought they MLB tweeted out the wrong name or something like that. I was like, what? Moncada home run? What? But yeah, I don't know, man. It's
they blow all. It almost feels like they blow all the runs for a series in one game. They like two runs, 1 run, then they'll blow their load. They'll get like 8 runs, and then it'll be like 1 run again, shutout, another 10-run performance, 2 runs.
It's so unbelievably frustrating. But the thing is, I still think they're going to win this division.
Oh yeah.
I still think they're going.
I think that has to be the most annoying part because it's like it's right there. You guys just play. You don't have to play like out of this world. Just play above 500.
Yes.
And like they're just struggling to do that.
Yes, that's what this. Oh, look. Whenever I look back at the 2022 season, all I'm going to think is frustration. This has been one of the most frustrating.
Even the good things that have happened, like Dylan Cease, that's been frustrating. He didn't make the All-Star team. He got so, like the whole thing. Even the positive, I think it's just frustration.
Yeah, and
I heard this conversation the other day. Well, like, what's the last like most frustrating season that you guys have gone through as a fan?
2006.
06? Okay.
They won the World Series in 05, then they won 93 games and then make the playoffs.
Didn't make the playoffs.
Which they had the 06 Twins on the graphic at this point of the year, teams that were down by the most games in the division to come back and win. And I think they were at 10.5 down at this point of the year in 2006, and they came back to win the division. So the White Sox only, a game and a half down?
Yeah.
Still hope.
Oh, no, lots of hope. But no, as far as frustrating goes, at least 06 was like fun, though, because it was like they were winning.
Jim Thome.
They won fucking 93 games, and you're like, and you were still kind of riding that buzz from 05, like, but then it got to the end, and you're like, what the fuck?
And even if they do win the division, at this point, like, it's almost, you kind of know they're going to get their ass handed to them in the first round by the Astros.
So with them winning the division is a double-edged sword to me. It's really cool. Like, you want your team to win the division all the time. Like, you want, your team to make the playoffs every year. You want all that. But also, this team needs some serious changes. And teams that make the playoffs don't normally make the changes that I want to see made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they can hide behind the whole, like, what? This team was good enough to win the, like, dude, you realize the Orioles would be in first place in this division by, like, 6 games or some shit like that? Like,
yeah.
I was talking to a buddy like a week and a half ago, and I was like, man, the worst case scenario for the White Sox would be they win the division, they somehow pull off like a wild card series win. So like they technically won a division, or they won a playoff series. They could, but then they lose the next round. But then Rick Hahn says, hey, we took the next step. We won in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We're making strides.
It would be terrible.
It's like, no, you underachieved all year, won a terrible division.
Fell asleep at the trade deadline.
I would hope, despite all the crap we give Rick Hahn, he's a smart guy. I think he would realize, even if that did, I hope, because he seems like a smart guy anyway. I would hope he'd realize that's clear that this changes need to be made.
The problem is he might realize it, but he can only do what he's allowed to do.
Like I was gonna say, player-wise, if they let him player-wise, he has some tough decisions because again, he's gonna have to trade from the MLB roster.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a pretty good free agent class this year, but does he get the checkbook? It's like what's gonna happen here? And I mean, do what everybody with a pulse besides one man thinks you should do and change your manager. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that they need to do.
Hey,
And
maybe he gets a second chance. Maybe Detroit fires what's his face?
Hinch,
Yeah, AJ Hinch, and then
yeah. Well,
Rick
they
Hahn gets
fired
the
their
hiring
GM. That was
start.
wild, dude. Firing a GM like 3 weeks after the draft. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yikes.
And then did you hear the pot shot Mr. Illich took at him? He's like, well, it wasn't my decision to trade away Verlander or Scherzer or Martinez and all those guys. That was the GM's move.
Yeah. He definitely swang from the hip there, but
I mean, Detroit, they for a time they were making like the big moves back in the late 2000s, late
their owner
2000s.
was because their owner was 100 years old and he was going to die, and so he's just like, I want to see a World Series before I die. Go get everyone. And then they started signing everyone. Like, they started handing out stupid money, and then the old man kicked it, and it all just went to shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's unfortunately, that always sits in the back of my mind where it's like, maybe it'd be better in the long run if they came up short this season, because then they could justify cleaning house.
But that's the thing,
I don't want him
Jerry's
to clean
not.
house. I almost like, it's then you had to go. That's just going to be another 2-year project. That's just a waste of the.
Don Cooper was with the team for like 20 years.
Yeah. No, when I say, and I guess I should be clear. When I say clean house, I mean like front office shit, like not on-field personnel.
Yeah.
I think on-field personnel.
Haven't they recently? I guess that was more player development, right? With Chris Getz as their new guy a few years ago.
I don't think they need to make like super drastic on-the-field moves. There's like a couple things they need to do, some depth, some starting pitching, left-hand, whatever, new coach, but. I'm talking more like off the field stuff when I say clean house, like
a brand new.
Say they do that though. Do you really trust Reinsdorf or Kenny Williams, whoever's to make the right hires there though?
No, that's I mean, that makes me nervous too, because then what happens if we get like 8 Tony La Russas running the show now?
Yeah,
it's like, all right, dude, they're gonna be holding the front office meetings at 4:00 dinner at Denny's. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, this is, I mean. Man,
and I might be in the minority here. I do not think Rick Hahn is a bad general manager. I think he's made some bad moves this season, but overall, like, I do not mind having him at the helm. It's there's been some mistakes for sure. He deserves.
A month ago, I'm with you. That trade deadline just
it broke.
I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that trade. How do you? I just don't.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Now, John Morosi brought up an interesting point. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it. He was saying that it's almost a good thing they didn't make any moves just because they recognized the roster wasn't there. So why trade from the already depleted farm system if you really don't think this is going to be their year anyway, just to get a rental and maybe win the division by like 5 games instead of 1.5.
I mean, I guess.
No, I'm not saying I agree with it. And actually, if I would have been fine if Rick Hahn came out and said that, like, look, we didn't think we had like the firepower anyway, and so that's why we didn't. And it was where he comes out and it's like, oh, we're just as frustrated as everyone else. And, the usual word salad that he gives. Like, that's
tough. That's tough, though. You can't say that as a GM.
Yeah.
You can't be like, no, we don't think you guys are good enough.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that is true. But
I also think
maybe he says it after the season. I could see him being like, a reason we weren't so aggressive is we saw where we were at. We knew our faults within the roster. I could see him saying that after the season.
Or if he came out and just been like, well, we thought,
kind of like what I was saying with Tim Anderson, like, there's a lot of shit we just don't know. And we don't know with Rick, like, we honestly don't know what he has the green light to go and do. And, like, for all we know at the trade deadline, he could have been banging on Jerry's door all fucking day. Like, let me do, like, and Jerry was just like, whatever, dude, I'm sleeping. Like, fuck off, and like.
Who's Ohtani? Never heard of him.
Yeah. Also, I mean, Rick is not without his flaws. Like, I wouldn't be mad if he left. We'll put it that way. I wouldn't be sad to see him go.
Yeah, positive. The bullpen has been really good as of late with everyone getting back and healthy.
All the pitching's been good for
he doesn't have to sign any more relievers.
Yeah, he's gonna be. Maybe, what's gonna happen? They're gonna make the playoffs, and then like I don't know who's. Like Josh Harrison's going to get like a big home run and they're going to give him a 6-year deal. That's apparently what they do now.
That's
Is
right.
if you hit-
He's going to get the Larry Garcia deal.
Yeah, if you
Larry.
have one good game in the playoffs, you get a 3-year, $20
Hey,
million
Leary put in his
contract.
time. I did not mind that signing if they used him properly, which they don't. That's more on Tony La Russa. Leary gets too much flack.
It's not on Larry. It really is not. It's not on him.
For Cubs fans listening, this is like reminding me of like the Nafy Perez, Dusty Baker era for the Cubs. Like Nafy Perez was like 38, just I think he used to play for the Giants, so you knew Dusty Baker before. And it's just like the Cubs had they were in like great young prospects, so they had a couple young guys, and like Dusty's like, nope, this guy's getting 600 plate appearances.
They are eating a Jerry Garcia hot dog on this broadcast right now. That looks amazing. Chorizo dog, tie-dye mustard, fried ketchup, jalapeno pickle, gummy bear relish.
What's in those gummy bears?
I want to eat all of that.
That sounds great. The like things that are like candy and then salty, it just works.
Oh yeah,
definitely works.
The chocolate covered pretzels, delicious.
Yes, like I'm not really a big pretzels guy, like the regular just like salty pretzels, but like you put the dipped in chocolate, I'll finish a bag of those.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Jason's just going to town on him. He's loving it. Steve Stone gave his to Jason. He is just gobbling it right now. He looks like a chipmunk right now with his cheeks full of food trying to talk. Good for him, man.
Gotta do something. Out for the third time today.
Yeah, got to do something. Meanwhile, Abreu does what Abreu does, base hit. Now Moncada's up. Yeah, I don't know with this team, dude.
Sox still losing 1-0.
A 1-0 lead right now feels like 50-1.
Dude, that's the thing, though. It's against the fucking Royals, man.
Against the lefty, too.
Yep. That's a big stretch of games for them. Because once the schedule gets tougher, like I think playing this 500 ball against these mediocre teams, then you got the Astros come to town, and then you got the Padres and Twins late in the year. Like they need to build some sort of cushion. Like not only get the lead in the division, build some sort of cushion with these games. They're kind of like.
But that's the weird thing. If you look at the season as a whole, they played their best series against good teams.
Yeah. I'm still not banking on that though.
No, but I'm just saying, like, if I was thinking about that today, like their record against the AL East is good.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
I mean, that kind of gives you some. Jesus Christ, Joe! Oh my God, you're betting 195.
Hey, there's a walk.
Ooh, here we go, rally.
Really?
That's what we need from Yohan. More walks. That's what he did good last year. He took
that was a good
walk
walk too, because a lot of those pitches were close. So that's a good walk from him. But
man, you really have to sweep the Tigers because after that it's Houston, Cleveland, Baltimore.
Yeah, the Cleveland series is going to be massive. Cleveland series is playoffs. That's playoffs. The Cleveland series should be a playoff atmosphere.
And then you start September, Minnesota, Seattle, Oakland on the road.
Which they never play well in Oakland, ever.
And then I think you mentioned it early in the podcast, Mitch, how they end with Minnesota. The last 3 series are 3 against Minnesota, 3 against the Padres,
which is
3 against Minnesota.
I hate that the Padres are sprinkled in there.
Dude, the worst possible timing.
Hate it. I hate the travel. I hate the timing.
You have to go there.
I hate all of it. I hate all of it. And I know, like Sox Machine in 108, they got like a whole big field trip going out to San Diego. It's probably gonna be a bomb-ass trip. That's awesome. But like, I just hate the timing of that. 100% hate the timing of that.
The only silver lining is that's when the weather's supposedly supposed to get cold. Who knows? Global warming, maybe an extra month of summer. But San Diego, these White Sox, they hit poorly in the cold. Going to California might be, just with the top order.
But the Padres are good.
Yeah.
And they got really good at the break or at the deadline.
And I think at that time,
I don't know if they have enough pitching though. Like like the roster's really good. I don't know if they have the pitching to make a serious run, though. Especially with how stacked the NL.
World Series Blake Snell's not coming through that.
I still like
anytime soon.
Musgrove and Darvish as a 1-2 is solid.
Yeah.
And then Musgrove's you have Minaya,
who has the goods. He just needs to kind of find it.
Yeah.
Blake Snell is. I mean, that dude's just. He's on the back 9.
Is Clevenger like starting for that? What's he doing?
They were trying to trade him, I think.
Yeah. There they were. Oh, seriously, Yasmani Grandal doesn't even swing anymore. He like goes up there and just like hopes to get walked. Like he's down on the count 1 and 2 right now. He just literally the bat has not left his shoulder once.
The other, I think so. Steve Stone brought it up on the score. I think And I mean, I'm a big base percentage guy. You know, taking walks is good, but I think he made a really good point on how there's a difference between Yasmani Grandal walking and like a guy with like at least average speed walking, because
With
even if Yasmani
minimal speed,
Grandal gets on base,
with someone that has above a
Yeah.
0 in the show for speed,
like you're gonna
'cause
need like 2 hits to score
I'll
him.
say it because Fids always says it. He's a base clogger.
Yeah,
He's a clogger. Like, if he's batting 7th right now. If one of these kids, like let's say Sosa, comes up behind him who can run, and he puts one in the gap, what would
he's
have
gonna be
been
at third, second and third.
yeah,
So
he's a
that
base
so
clogger.
so that's another thing where like the Grandal, like one of the reasons that you like him as a hitter is like, oh yeah, he has a high on base percentage because he
Yeah.
walks a lot. But
But
like, man,
it's
those
not
walks are
that's a
hurting the
great
team.
point. No, it's a great point. They're
Yeah,
not as significant
but I'd
as
rather
what
have
they
him
used to.
clogging up the base pass than the bench. I'll take that over a strikeout.
Oh my God, he's
No,
throwing
like-
the bat, and he
Oh.
got a base hit,
There you go.
and a
There you
Brady
go,
Duck held that third.
Yasmani.
Oh, good thing. Good hold, McEwen. Good hold, McEwen. Good hold.
Super Joe's been better at that. I actually think he's being a little too. There's times there he's almost too conservative now. I think White
He
Sox
definitely got a talking to.
Oh yeah,
He definitely got it. Did you see that? What was it? It was the Blue
Was it-
Jays Twins game. There was like all kinds of shit happening. Like, it was chaos. Rocco went nuts. But in the midst of all the chaos, it was like one of the worst sends I've ever seen in my life. The dude was out by like 20 steps. The catcher was like, it was like in what's those the movies with the
Major League?
Indians? Major League, when the
where
guy's
he's like, come here,
yeah, like, come on, dude. Like, it was so bad, dude.
I always laugh out loud
hold
when
on, this
when
is
you get the
actually
camera
interesting.
view of like the diamond, and it's
Yeah.
a throw coming in, and you just see the catcher with the ball, and like you don't even see the runner in frame.
Yep.
It's like, why was he coming around?
So this was actually really big news in the world of baseball. As DeGrom basically told the Mets he's opting out.
Cubs are gonna get him.
He's opting out. Some think he just wants a new contract because he's without a
the
doubt
Mets
the
are
best.
paying everyone too. I would
Yeah,
not
and
be
he's-
surprised if he just gets a new contract there.
But the
'cause
team
Cohen-
that I've been told to watch by multiple people that I trust with this kind of stuff
The
is
Cubs.
the Braves.
Oh my God, that would
Is the
sting.
Braves. I heard the Braves are going to back up the Brinks truck.
Dude, the NLE is just like all their star pitchers, just going in intra-division.
But I mean, for the Mets, who are playing amazing baseball this season and have the best closer in baseball, which his song is just unbelievably awesome.
Saw his entrance the other day.
That's sick, dude. But to see them lose the best pitcher that we've seen in years to a division rival,
Like their division, right? Yeah.
yeah, good Lord.
That's
Clutch
why you should
Gavin
sign with the
Sheets?
Cubs.
Clutch Gavin Sheets.
Gavin.
Clutch Gavin Sheets. 2-run
See?
base hit.
Saying you
I
guys are
also
worried.
Gavin Sheets is a guy too. He's been kind of since he
He's
got
been-
called back up.
been
He's been
clutch.
solid. He's been very
clutch.
solid.
He's not been good. He's been clutch, though. He hits big hits in clutch
Yeah.
situations. But he just hit a fucking absolute heat seeker right at the second baseman. The second baseman might be dead. Oh, bad hop, ate him up. He fell down. Oh my God, looking like Nick Magical out there.
Oh, hey, Nicky Maggs is
Poor Nicky, 2 strikes.
he's pretty good defensively this
I
year.
Do you
should
see them
say-
giving out the life-size Nick Magical bobbleheads at Wrigley? He didn't even play.
Yeah, he was nice though. He took pictures with people and shit. He's a good dude, but that looks like I just had flashbacks of playoff Nick Magical at that play.
Speaking of-
Yeah.
Speaking of Nick Madrigal, he was almost thrown out at second base today on a base hit down the right field line.
He
But
tried.
he didn't. He
to
was
touch it.
safe. He was safe.
He got them little legs,
Yeah.
but he's
Nick
been
Madrigal
hitting a
coming
little bit
around.
though.
I want him to do well. So I really want him.
Yeah, so
Although
what the fuck?
I gotta ask you, bud, are you at all pumped for this Field of Dreams game?
No. Talked with one of my best friends, Cubs fan. He's like, yeah, why are they doing this still?
Yeah. Well, you gotta imagine.
Well, it's
last
fun
year-
after this season. The Cubs ruined it for
Yeah,
everyone.
The
Matt's
Cubs and
so
Reds
bad that-
killed the Field of Dreams game.
Yeah.
You're welcome, everyone.
last year they had 2 first place teams like going into the playoffs that had like all-star rosters. Like the White Sox were riding high, Yankees are stacked. It was a fucking home run derby. You get the epic Tim Anderson walk off with some of the most fantastic like video and camera work I've ever seen in my life, with him coming to third with his team cheering at home plate with the fireworks going off and all that shit. Like, it's arguably
It was a movie.
It's one of my favorite pictures of like all time in baseball. I absolutely adore that picture. And now you get 2 last place teams that no one
Drew
gives
Smiley,
shit about.
everyone's favorite left-handed Cubs pitchers. He's going to be starting for the Cubs against. I think it's one of the younger starters for the
You
Reds.
gonna buy the Cubs hat?
No, the Cubs. I do like the Cubs hat.
The Cubs
both uniforms are pretty sharp. The problem is they both look the same because they have like identical C's on the
cream. It's cream versus white.
Yeah,
with the C on and they both have the C. Like the old.
Oh my God!
What happens, Zoe?
How are you that slow?
Give us the play-by-play, Zoe. Come on.
Sosa, the kid, hits a pretty solid pop out, not deep, but enough where someone with like marginal speed could tag up and score. But you got Grandal on third base. And
oh yeah, that's definitely taggable.
He tagged him, went like halfway, and was like, "Oh fuck," and stopped.
Hey, that's smart base running. He knows he can't score.
The right fielder made a horrible play. Dozer caught it like falling backwards.
Oh my God!
It was a somewhat decent throw to home, but like everyone else on the White Sox roster scores on that play. Put it that way.
I mean,
I don't think I'm
again,
wrong.
Zoe, what's his speed on MLB The Show?
0. 0. Yeah. Even his juice cards from like his flashback cards are like 5.
2. But yeah,
I like but I was a little disappointed when I saw cream versus white. Like, it's like, bro, like you could have had like the Reds in like a red uniform, or the Cubs in that awesome baby black. Damn straight, Jack. Herb Lawrence would have scored on that sac fly.
Yeah, if you could still truck the catcher.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
I don't know. He would score with his heart. I've always been for the most part the Cubs uniforms when they try to do some stuff, I always feel like it's hit or miss. I've always said they have the main, obviously the blue, the Cubby blue.
Yeah,
they don't use red enough.
No, my favorite Cubs uniform are the Carolina blue ones with the dark blue pinstripes that say Chicago across the chest. Those are hands down the best Cubs uniform in my opinion.
I like those. I like the Sandberg era V-necks. I love those.
I like the V-neck. When it was a solid color and it just had the Cubs logo on the kitty. Yeah, that's a good one. I love that.
Yep. But I guess this is what they wore back in like in the 19.
They're sharp. I don't mind it. Like for as far as Cubs uniforms go, they're pretty sharp uniforms. They just look the same.
Google the history of the Cincinnati Reds uniforms. They had better options, man.
Oh, yeah.
They had better options for the Reds. I don't like it when teams play each other and it's 2 colored uniforms versus like red versus green or something like that. Like it looks like Christmas. It's weird, but there should be a dark colored jersey and a light jersey. It's a white jersey versus a cream jersey.
I've always hated the Cincinnati C. Just reminds me of the Bears. It's like, oh, you're ripping off the Bears.
That's true.
But it's brutal. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, there's like some backstory, right? That has to do with the Cubs and Reds. Why they picked them?
They announced it right after once the
like, does it have to do with like the history of anything? Well, the Reds were in the World Series.
I'm sure it does. Yeah.
But I mean, you had the White Sox and the Yankees. I could pick like 20 better games than the Reds and the Cubs.
And like that's the thing. Like it was pretty obvious. I mean, that game was in August. It was after the trade deadline. The Cubs traded away their star player.
Give me a Mets Brave game.
Yes, like no anything. Like I'm a Cubs fan. Love to see.
Or if you want to go coast to coast, do like Mets Padres. That'd be
I think they wanted for like the Field of Dreams since they couldn't do White Sox Yankees again. I don't know why, but like they wanted like an old school matchup.
Of course they're gonna have a Chicago team because it's in Iowa, and the Cubs have a huge fan base in Iowa.
Do you like Cubs Cardinals? Let's have the Cardinals.
Cubs Cardinals would have made more sense.
I was very surprised it wasn't Cubs Cardinals. Very surprised. I mean, that's
look at Josh Harrison, big
huge rivalry. And hey, Yaz apparently could score on a base hit to left. Good job, buddy. It only took you 10 seconds.
There you go. Sox are back. We just have the shits off. We just got to kick the Sox in the pants.
Look at Josh Harrison. Josh Harrison revving the engine. He's getting the boys fired up, just like we were talking about earlier.
He's playing with some swagger. His last 15 games, too, he's batting over 300.
Oh, yeah. So why do you hate swagger?
Oh, God. It just sounds like It just, I don't know. It's one of those words that it's like nails on a chalkboard to
What
me.
about swag?
It's just so
What would you
overused.
prefer then?
Mojo.
got
He
that.
looks cool.
He looks
Mojo.
cool.
Mojo?
Mojo.
Oh,
I like Mojo.
I think I like swag over than
I
Mojo.
Swagger just feels like the thing like your 70-year-old gym coach says when he's like, "Hello, my fellow kids." Like it's like
and Mojo doesn't?
No, Mojo works. Mojo works. Mojo works.
I don't think so.
Someone had the idea of previous World Series matchups. That'd be great.
That'd be cool.
I'd be down with that.
Well, yeah, don't the Cubs play the Yankees this year? Like, well, why didn't they just make Cubs Yankees? Or no, well, yeah, they did play them. The Cubs got destroyed at Yankee Stadium. So what?
Yep.
Just do that in the corner.
There you go, Zoe.
Have
That's
the
what
Yankees score
Nailman
27
Jack.
runs.
He's moist.
He's moist. I don't mind that word. I know that word.
I think it's a growth thing.
That's gross. Yeah.
I think that word doesn't do it.
I honestly don't get when people say like, "Ooh, that word gives me." I don't get that feeling at all.
I normally don't. But it's just lately, like, especially when TA went down, it's like, I think it's like seeing like 80-year-old White Sox beat reporters like Bruce Levine being like, "Whoa, the White Sox lost their swagger." With TA going down, it's like, Jesus Christ. Like,
so I can blame this on Bruce then. Bruce Levine.
We're gonna have to mix some more swagger.
This word is just getting freak out to death. But
I don't know. The heebie-jeebies.
He's the bee's knees. They could have done better.
Creepers.
I mean, the layup to me is Cubs Cardinals. I don't know. I mean, that's a huge. And you're in Iowa. You can get the people from Missouri come right up. I mean, Cincinnati's on the whole other side of the. You know what I mean? Like logistically, you would think it's a bigger rivalry. Cardinals. They could have done those Carolina blue Cardinals jersey. Oh, those are tight. Yeah.
Those are sharp out of the pot. Yeah, I like those.
If you guys haven't noticed, if a team has a Carolina blue
anything
jersey,
baby blue, Carolina blue,
I get that they wanted to go American League one year, National League the next year. I understand that. I get why it had to be the Cubs. I mean, that's just money. That's a money decision. But it should have been the Cardinals. It shouldn't have. And the Reds were bad last year. Like, this isn't like a surprise.
When
like,
they announced
that
matchup last year, like I don't think you could tell it wasn't going to be good.
No, literally everyone said this is a terrible matchup.
The only good thing that's coming out of this game is MLB The Show puts out new content for the World Field of Dreams game.
Maybe get a Nico and Nico.
No, I'm getting that O'Neal Cruz 99.
Oh man, that guy.
That guy's just sick, dude. He is just a sick
I don't think he's hitting as good as people thought, though.
No, he's not a very good contact hitter. He's a 3 outcome guy right now.
Not living up, really fell victim to the hype train on that one.
I'm saying though, with a guy that is that talented, though, you give him a full off season with the big club, and like, I think he's going to be an absolute.
Like best case scenario, if you're a Pirates fan, is that O'Neal Cruz is great, and then the Pirates trade him in 4 years,
which will definitely happen to the White Sox.
Because they literally.
I mean, what is he? He's like 6'7".
Like 6'7".
He runs. He's faster than Tyreek Hill.
Built out of marble.
He throws 98-mile-an-hour darts from the shortstop position. Like, you just got to teach that. You get that boy living in a batting cage all summer or all winter.
He just slings it too, because you can tell with some fielders, like they try to get when they try to show off the arm.
This is the comparison. Like physically, yes, he's Aaron Judge if he played shortstop.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
By the way, do you guys think Aaron Judge gets to 63?
It's gonna be tough.
I think he gets there, and I also think that it's gonna be awesome because baseball purists and like people that have like a brain
the new home run
are gonna go like toe to toe, and it's gonna be amazing. The real record's not 73. That's tarnished. No, he still hit the ball over the wall 73 times in one season. That counts. So
Barry Bonds in his last year was I think 40. He still hit like 26 home runs, I think.
Barry Bonds' numbers are unbelievable. Like Barry Bonds' number, the fact that the man sold over 500 bases, like it's just people don't even talk about that. When you think of Barry Bonds, all you think is like, oh, he hits bombs. But
he would have been a Hall of Famer before the steroids too. Yes, and even with the steroids, it's still an impressive feat just because steroids aren't making you hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
He did all that while getting attention. The man got intentionally walked with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, he got intentionally walked so much. He stole bases, over 500 bases. He had absolute fucking cannon on his fucking arm from the outfield. He was a good fielder. Like, It sucks. He needs to sign his likage rights to MLB The Show so they could just make a fucking the highest card you can get is a 99. They need to make 150 Barry Bonds because just John Dowd comes back.
By the way,
Bonds was a 40-40 guy, dude.
You know,
He was a
Bonds
40-40 guy.
Bonds was amazing. Speaking of outfielders, and Sox maybe sign someone in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys want another, left-handed bat, veteran leadership in the clubhouse, you guys trying to sign Jason Heyward to that league minimum?
No.
It fits right in with the White Sox.
No.
Don't have to spend any money.
No.
Very cheap.
No.
Left-handed bat.
No.
Defense.
No.
That could be the locker room.
Do you know how old I was surprised? Do you know how old Jason Heyward is? His birthday was
because you're surprised by it. I'm gonna shoot low. 32.
35.
33.
Okay.
Oh.
No, the White Sox don't need to pay $40 million for a locker room speech. That never even really happened.
So you always think this about like big free agents that they're still getting paid. You can sign him for the league minimum because he's still getting paid by the Cubs.
I wish Fids was here for this. I'm gonna crush a lot of Cubs fans' hearts right now. Fids needs to back me up on this. That locker room speech, that's infamous locker room speech, wasn't that great. Fids has told us about this like 10 times on this show, and Fids knows.
But what does that have to do with it?
I'm just saying, like he's done great things for the city of Chicago. I will never say a bad thing about Jason Heyward as a man.
Jason Heyward never Dallas Keuchel'd anyone.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's a pretty low bar.
That's a super low bar.
He never Milton Bradley'd anyone. Another low bar.
Does he believe dinosaurs are real? No, that was Carl Everett. Anyways, I would never say a bad thing for him as a man. He's done a ton of shit for the city of Chicago. He's just
working back from
he's
injuries,
a great guy.
Give him a second chance.
He's just not good at baseball anymore.
Just give him a second.
He's just not good. The White Sox do not need that.
He needs a change of scenery.
He needs to
the other side of the city.
He needs to go play in Oakland.
It's unbelievable. Jason Heyward from ages 20 to 26.
Dude, when he was
it wasn't spectacular, but it was a 118 WRC plus.
Are you talking about when he was on the Braves?
Braves and Cardinals.
Yeah, when he was on the Braves, I remember when he was a rookie.
The Cubs signed him as a 26-year-old free agent, basically the same age that the Padres signed like Machado, I think.
Yep.
And it was the same thinking. You're getting a guy who's about to, go into his prime. You're hoping that the power is going to go up a little, and then he just became a bad baseball player in his prime. Unbelievable.
I wish they would have parted ways. I understand Cubs fans are salty because he was bad, and I get why you're salty about. But like, as just a Chicagoan, I know what he's done for this city. Like, opening up grocery stores and food deserts, like donating tons of money, like all that stuff. I just wish the Cubs would have kind of waited to the end of the year and been like, hey, we're going to go our separate ways. I don't like the way it went down with like, oh, he's hurt. By the way, just stay hurt because you're not coming back. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It was just, I could see him playing for like the Diamondbacks.
Another classy Cubs goodbye.
Or like the A's for a year or something. It was just, I don't know. I wish they would have did a little.
I disagree. They're literally giving Jason Heyward a full, he's still going to be around the team.
I didn't know that. I thought
he's still going to be around the team.
The way I read it was they were just like, bye, go away.
No, I think that's what I think Kevin too misinterpreted what he's sticking with the team until the end of the season, and then they're going to release him so he can have the offseason to find.
And they announced it the day before his birthday.
That was the only thing, though. It was like the day before.
They tweeted out "Happy Birthday" to him the next day.
They did. It's like, oh god, I think that was the misstep. It's like you could.
What's the worst this season? The Cubs play on the field or their social media team? Because he had that Yankees dust up earlier in the year. You have this now too.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they say "Happy Birthday" to or they shout out all their guys. So like, they didn't know that Jed Hoyer was gonna be like, oh yeah, by the way, Jason Heyward, great leader. He's not gonna be on the team next year.
Two things. One, Bobby Wood Jr. is ridiculously fast. He just beat out a ground ball to third. That boy is the opposite of Yasmani Grandal. But two, I mean, realistically, what do you think's next for him? Do you think he plays on like the A's or the Diamondbacks or like the Marlins or something like that? Or I feel like he has a career in coaching, or like,
I mean,
does he get the broadcast booth or whatever? See, here's Cueto in the 6th inning giving the lead back, and it's like
he's about to score here.
Witt just scored, and now Perez hit a double. We're on second, no outs. Go get him now, Tony. Go get
Is
him
anyone
now.
warming up? That's the first question. Because
I
for
don't
some
know.
reason, the White Sox always leave a guy, or they just don't have anyone warming up
It's
when
been
guys
the
are
story
falling
all
apart.
season. It's been the story all season. One inning too long. And Tony, who's this mastermind with the bullpen, one inning too long with everyone.
And that's the thing. I know Kevin's brought it up in our
I don't think
chat.
there's
Like how,
there's literally no one up in the Sox pen. I'm watching.
Like,
I mean, Jesus.
I know
Christ.
Kevin's brought up how, like, that's like the pitching coach's
Well,
responsibility.
Katz is on the phone now. They're getting someone up now.
All right. There you go. But
No,
like
but I
at
don't
the
want
same
him.
time,
I don't want him pitching to this guy. This kid's been hot the whole. I can't pronounce this kid's last name, but he's been hot this whole series. He should not be pitching to this guy.
Oh, Pisquanto
Yeah,
or something.
He's a big boy.
Dirty P.
Dirty P.
Big boy. Horrible goatee. Totally looks like a Vinny. But
at the same time, Tony La Russa has all these years of experience. Shouldn't he know when to start warming guys up?
Can he look at Katz and be like, bro, make the call?
Right.
Like, why?
So like, I don't buy that excuse of like it only falls on one guy.
But back to Jay Hay, I guess, because the White Sox are going to inevitably just blow this.
I mean, Kevin said it when the day happened. Like, dude, just like go away. Like, you've made a lot of money. You've won your World Series.
I feel like he's the type of guy though that can't. He won't leave baseball. I feel Joel makes a great in the comments here. He'd be a great manager or broadcast. He'd be a great broadcaster on ESPN. I could
get him on the Apple TV broadcast. That broadcast is brutal.
Yes, I agree there, but I could also see him becoming an analyst for TBS because he's an Atlanta guy. He loves Atlanta. TBS headquarters in Atlanta. Like I could see
playoff
that whole
coverage. Yeah,
Turner, like get him like when AJ made his debut in the booth. It was for TBS during the playoffs, and that's when he did all right. But Cueto got Vinny out, but now he's still in, still pitching, runner on second.
Well, it takes more than a minute to warm up a pitcher, so
it shouldn't. Well, and then there's an error. Salvi Perez, thank God you're fat.
Who made the error?
At third. Who made that throw? Moncada.
Oh.
In Tony's defense here, the guy got on by a soft hit ground ball. That was the first guy on, and then one pitch later was the double. So like after the first one, like I'm not yanking him after.
This didn't happen. It happened fast.
It did. Maybe he doesn't even come out for the 6-0, Mitch. That's what I'm talking about. He did this yesterday too with Big Sexy.
But you just had the doubleheader yesterday. Your bullpen's already thin.
Guys,
you're trying to get innings out of them.
I guess.
I mean,
they didn't really tax the bullpen too much yesterday, though. Did they?
That's fair. Davis Martin, I think, went how many? 5?
Davis Martin pitched good.
Martin, I like Davis Martin. I feel bad for him. He keeps bouncing up and down.
My cousin Jake Dykman's on warming up.
Yeah, he's been doing good.
I think Davis Martin has a
legit shot of making good. Yeah, I think
he has a legit shot of making the big league club next year.
I think so too.
Long reliever, perfect role for him. Yeah,
long reliever could do a spot start. You got to remember Raylo's coming back too. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
I think he is back. He yesterday, didn't he?
Oh, he is.
Oh, yeah.
Back. I thought it was today or tomorrow, but
he was electric. Man, again, we talked about it before he went on the injured list, but that guy,
he's been the unsung hero of this bullpen for sure.
That dude just throws an easy 100.
Yep. That's what we thought he was going to be, and then he got the LASIK, and he can actually see the catcher.
But that's the thing, though. At this point, he's only proven to do it out of the bullpen. So,
well, he had one really good year as a starter. He was their best starter in 2018.
I'm on a delay, Mitch, but I have a feeling Cueto's going to get another one of his double plays right here.
Swing and a miss.
He loves getting. Yeah, he loves getting guys on first and third, and then just getting a double play.
Double play would be nice here. This is going to decide the game. They get a double play here, they're winning this game.
Yeah, because they can't score runs. So
4 runs is a lot to ask for this offense.
Yes.
By the way, if the Sox do win tonight,
that's such a sad thing to say.
If the Sox do win tonight, I mean, the Twins still have a couple more games with the Dodgers. I think by the end of the week, boys, you might be in first place.
What are the Twins doing right now?
They barely started. They're in the top of the first against the Dodgers.
And they're not losing yet? Panic.
0-0. Oh, they're in LA.
Guardians are winning.
The Dodgers, rest in peace, Vin Scully, baseball legend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you think of the voice of baseball, so we got the Guardians are up 3-2. They got Clase on the mound. It's the bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, runner on second, and the rookie Green is up to bat for the Tigers. So the Guardians are probably going to win.
Funny Vin Scully story. When I was in California for my last semester of school, I took a tour of Dodger Stadium, and they're taking you around the press box, whatever. And it's called like the Vin Scully press box. And for a while, they told him like, "Hey, we want to name this like broadcast boost after you," like while he's still announcing. He's like, no, I don't want to do it. He wouldn't let him. And they're like, why? And he's like, well, I don't want people to think like I'm a homer rooting for the Dodgers. And like, Vin, you've been announcing for us like over 50 years. Everyone knows you're rooting for the Dodgers. And then he finally caved. And now it's the Vin Scully broadcast.
The Guardians just won, and Cueto just struck that guy out. But I'm actually super jealous that you got to take that tour.
Oh, it's cool.
Awesome.
That's a cool.
Yeah,
that is an underrated stadium.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's just a pain in the balls to get to.
Honestly, like the night game was awful getting out of there. Day game wasn't too bad going to the like park.
My experience was a night game, and I just wanted to.
Yeah, it takes a while to get out of there. Like it's
bang my head off the dashboard when it was time to leave. I was like, this is brutal. Come on, whoa! The YouTube live just like jumped frames. That was weird.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, after
Guys,
this,
I have a question.
yes.
Ken Rosenthal on his MLB podcast this week on The Athletic said very confidently, or not very confident, he just said it. His own speculation, he didn't say this is, obviously he can't really guarantee anything right now. But he says, and this is the second time I've heard it from a national reporter, that the Cubs this offseason will get one of the top free agent shortstops. Now, I don't want to get crazy again because I was.
Give me the top five. I can't pull it up. Give me the top 5 free agent shortstops.
Well, it would be
Correa, Bogarts, Turner,
and Dansby Swanson, who's having an unbelievable year with the Braves. Those are the top 4.
One more. Give me another one.
I don't know who the 5th guy is.
I could tell you out of those 4.
That's going to be the 5th guy, the guy we don't know.
Yeah, I could tell you out of those 4 which one I think ends up with the Cubs.
I think Carlos Correa is going to sign with the Cubs, guys.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's Correa.
I think Trey Turner.
I think it's Trey Turner.
Trey Turner is going to get the qualifying offer. I don't think the Cubs are going to do that. They don't want to give up the draft pick. Carlos Correa is the only one of those guys who's not going to get a qualifying offer because you can't get it 2 years in a row.
I still don't think that he's going to, because I don't think he's gonna, he basically turned the Cubs down once, and I don't think they're going to be. He just said he doesn't want to go to a rebuilding team, and the Cubs in one offseason are not going to. I don't think they're going to change.
My order for the Cubs on that is Trey Turner 1, Dansby Swanson 2, Bogarts 3, Correa 4.
Completely.
Wow.
Dansby Swanson looks like a Chicago Cub.
I would love Dansby Swanson. Dansby Swanson is like.
But you got to remember though, the Braves GM has been doing a masterclass of great contracts. He's got.
Well, I mean, he robbed. What's his name? Ozzy
Albies. Yes, he got him. Oh no, get there. Oh fucking man, there goes that lead.
Yikes!
Son of a bitch. Should have pulled him. I thought he could get out of it. Honestly, I thought he was going to get out of that there.
You know who's really sucked after the trade deadline? Benintendi.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? He probably got vaccinated too. It's what Didi was saying.
Didi was right. Our video is going to
too.
get flagged by YouTube, like spreading misinformation.
What was I going to say? It's tough to play in New York's not for everyone, man. Playing in New York, playing for the New York Yankees is not for everyone. Yankees.
Has Joey Gallo done anything with the Dodgers?
I don't think so, but they win, and the Yankees can't win now.
That's right.
It's the Gallo curse.
It's the new Bambino curse. It's the Gallo curse.
That would be hilarious.
The curse. Now that Katz is going out. Cueto was not happy about it either.
Dude, he was like about to make a pitch.
Yeah, that was really weird. I think he was trying to speedball it so he couldn't come out.
I was like, no, you can't come out here.
But it's Katz, so it's not a change. He's just gonna sit there and be like.
Now, see, this makes no sense. You're gonna throw him out of his rhythm, or not. Either pull him or I don't. This is.
I mean, Diekman's got to be warm by now.
Oh yeah. Then now it's time to pull him. The lead's gone. Limit with the Dan.
This is kind of funny. So they're in the mound huddle. Like Moncada's right up there, Harrison's in the middle, Abreu's right there, and then there's like Sosa looking like the little, like someone's little brother, like standing up to the side. Like,
join the conversation too.
I'm not gonna say a goddamn word, but I'm supposed to be standing here, so I'm gonna stand right here. It was pretty funny. This is how I amuse myself now during Sox games, is I make up weird scenarios in my head. Yeah.
Lenin.
That's the other thing about these Sox games. They're so boring, dude. They're so boring. So boring.
I didn't want to say it because I was gonna maybe come off as salty or bitter, but yeah,
I'll
no,
say
they
it.
are.
They're so boring.
It's been a slog. I ain't gonna lie.
Again, man, it goes back.
Like
They
an
just
old
can't
man. There's
fucking
like a lot of times I just like fall asleep on the couch and it's like the 6th inning, and then I wake up and Ozzy's complaining in the post game show. It's like, what the hell
Yeah,
happened?
no, that's
their
yeah.
offense is just so brutal, man.
Yeah.
It's you don't even there's not even that anticipation. So when you're usually watching a baseball game, like when someone comes up to bat, there's like 100 different things that could happen. And so that's one of the beauty things of baseball. I know people are like, oh, it's like a 3-hour game for 14 minutes of actual action.
Well, you know
Well,
what it
it's
is.
just it's just like but like when the White Sox are playing right now, it's like there's no anticipation of something cool happening.
You know why? Because by the time you think like, oh wait, let me get into this at bat, Yuan Moncada swung at
over.
the first pitch and it's a
Yeah.
ground out.
It's a ground ball.
Yeah, or like whoever swung at the first.
My computer's
second
acting.
pitch.
Aldo, can you pull up Fangraphs?
All right, what do we got?
I'm very curious to see where the White Sox ground ball rate compares league wide.
All right, let me look that up.
Yeah, because I can't pull it up, otherwise it'll boot me off the live stream. My computer's been super awesome lately. When is the Field of Dreams game? Is that tomorrow night? Yeah, it was on a Thursday night last year.
Thursday night,
Yeah.
Fox, and then day
Yeah.
off Friday.
God, that was such a
Terrible.
good game last year.
Yeah,
gonna be
that really
such a
could not
game.
have gone any better for the
It's
MLB. The White Sox, like just like that was probably the perfect scenario.
But I mean, that's like eating a steak sandwich for dinner and then getting like, I don't know, like moldy sherbet for dessert. Like it just ruins everything. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
oh, moldy sherbet. It's a good band name. Hold on, Aldo, you're muted or something, dude.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Do you guys want to take a guess where the White Sox rank for ground ball percentage?
I'm going easily top
highest.
10. So I'm gonna say
You are correct, Mitch. Top 10.
we'll go. I think 6th.
Zoe, any guesses?
I said third highest.
They have the 4th highest ground ball percentage at 45.5%.
Who are the two
Colorado's
teams?
in third most,
Bad.
45.8, tied with Washington, and then the Chicago Cubs, the worst
Bad.
ground ball rate at 46.1.
Really, the Cubs, huh? Oh, it must
Well,
be a
yeah,
Chicago thing.
the Cubs early on, like through April, were like on pace to hit like 200 double plays.
But I mean, that's a direct representation of Frank, though. Like that's his whole. It was either Jordan or Sean Anderson. Someone tweeted out like teams that Frank has been the hitting coach for, and like they're where they rank in home runs in the league, and it's always like dead last or last. And then that's what's funny to me is like you see all that, and people are then like. It's like that meme of that dude shooting that guy and then being like, what did you do? It's like you hired this guy that is a notorious ground ball hitting coach, and you build your team with all power hitters, and then you tell them hit ground balls. This is what happens.
And again, the top three that for the worst ground ball rates are 3 bad teams: the Rockies, the Nationals, and the Cubs.
Yeah.
Now on the flip side, the highest fly ball percentage, so teams that hit the ball in the air the most.
Yankees.
Here's the top 5: the Houston Astros,
Good.
team.
Good.
Los Angeles Dodgers,
Good.
good team. Then you have the Giants, average team.
We're good. At
Number
one
2,
point.
the New York Yankees,
No shit.
pretty good. And then number 1, Baltimore,
Who?
like
Pretty
in the
good.
wild card race.
Pretty good.
Baltimore's
I'm
been
putting
the
in
best.
good category.
Baltimore 100% has been the best story of baseball this season.
Oh,
And then
for
the-
sure.
The White Sox, in terms of fly ball percentage, they're 23rd. They only hit the ball in the air 34.9% of
And
the
they
time.
literally built this team around power hitters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. How is this not like addressed?
That has to be a change, right? You would think.
Then like
Yeah. You can't really do it
like-
now because
It's
changing
kind of late.
And who are they going to bring up? The AAA hitting coach? That's where Frank Manachino came from, and everyone was stoked about that when he got hired. So there's only so much
Literally,
the hitting coach can
within
do.
an hour of the last out of the season being recorded, he needs to be fired. Like
Yeah.
during the post game show of the last game of the season, Ozzy needs to be like, "Oh, we
Like,
just got
before
news,
the
take
finals
care of
Wasn't
it."
round
even worse
out.
like Todd's. What was it? Steverson, the guy before? Was he
I mean, he should have his office cleaned out. He should have bare minimum in his office because he just knows it's coming. And
He should get the Jason Heyward announcement. Frank
Yep.
Menachino is not going to be with the team next year. He'll still remain with the team the rest of this year.
Throw me like $200K and I'll just sit there and tell these professional hitters to put the ball
Uppercut.
Yeah. Hit up, swing up.
Like, guys, stop grinding. Just take it easy.
Yeah.
Relax.
Swing up, dumbass. Swing up, dumbass. Swing up, dumbass. I do that every day. Give me $200K.
You have to learn Spanish, though.
I quit my job.
You gotta say it to the
tomorrow.
Latin players.
How do you say swing up, dumbass in Spanish? Do you know?
Oh man, on the spot. Let me see.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. I'll look it up in the translator app because if I can learn. I mean, there's an app for everything now.
Ground ball, muy mal.
Yeah, there you go.
And then I'll just say "Cállate, puto" if they try to.
Jose Reyes is gonna fight you if you say that.
Hey, if that gets them going, I'll take one for the team.
He's gonna pull you off to the side and be like, "Listen, Zoe, we don't talk like that.
Yeah, we don't talk like that.
Yeah.
We don't want to show you up in front of the rest of the guys, but
we have elders.
Swing
Tony's
up.
We don't want you
Dumbass.
offending Leary."
So I typed in English. I said, "How do you say swing up, dumbass" in English?" And then the Spanish translation was "swing up, dumbass."
The universal language.
There you go.
Swing up, dumbass. Yeah, it says. All right, let's uppercut swing. Let's go with that.
I'm like decent at Spanish, but when it comes to like translating Spanish to like sporting stuff or like sports stuff.
All right, how do I say this now?
Just, wait, do it louder. Do it.
Columpio percut.
Oh, they're talking about an actual like a swing set. Columpio is a swing set.
It says, yeah, uppercut swing.
Eli's gonna be like, "What the hell are you talking about?
What are you talking about, Coach Zoe?"
I'll just be like, "Bro,
Coach Zoe said we need to go on a swing set." They're gonna be walking around, and there's gonna be a bunch of White Sox players in the swing.
So all you have to do is just in spring training show up, put like go on YouTube and swing that the Dingers video guy.
Oh yeah, with the pool thing, the foam pool thing. What do you call those things?
Yeah, the pool noodle.
Noodle, yeah. Get the pool noodle and the protractor out, and be like, "This is the angle you need to hit a home run. Just swing at this angle."
Just do that every time you're in batting practice or hitting off the tee. Just do this.
Yep. White Sox will go like 4 for. Everyone will go 1 for 4 every game with 1 home run.
Like 600 slugging percentage.
Yeah.
But,
Lead the league in solo shots. Just
Did
everyone's
you see
just
the Angels.
hacking
What was
on.
it? 7 home runs and they lost 7 solo
7.
home.
If that's not the most Angels thing to ever happen, and
Ohtani hit 2.
Yeah.
I always think back to that tweet that you pointed out, although like Mike Trout breaks another record. Ohtani goes 4 for 4 with 3 home runs, and the Angels lose 8-6. It's like every time, man. That was the most Angels thing to happen, dude. The most Angels things to happen.
Can you guys think of a team that's had like just 2 of the best players and they just haven't won anything?
No. I hope for the sake of Ohtani and Trout that they take a good hard look at themselves this offseason and just say it's over. Let's start again.
Well, I mean, I think they're going to trade Ohtani.
Yeah,
I think that's a real possibility.
The fact
Trout,
that he came out,
in.
the fact that they came out and said like we're going to trade Ohtani at the next trade deadline, you don't show your cards.
Yeah.
Poker. Like they're basically saying like just we're doing this anyway. Someone give us a shit offer, and whoever is the best shit offer, we'll take it.
The Cubs are going to get him.
I hope they do. I just hope he gets out of there. I mean, Nick Madrigal gave the pitch to the right fielder.
What's Suzuki.
Suzuki. Maybe you get Nicky Madrigal out to Cali, have him do a little talk with Ohtani in there.
The Japanese whisperer.
Yeah,
that's why the Cubs got Nick Madrigal.
Yeah, see, at least you're getting something out of him. What's Craig Kimbrell? Who's he recruiting for?
Yeah.
Can Ohtani play shortstop too?
No, that's the thing. Shohei Ohtani
probably could.
Probably
automatic ace, and then just middle of the order bat.
He fills every hole that the White Sox have in their roster.
Okay, would you guys do that trade?
No.
What?
It was Andrew Vaughn, Michael Kopech, and you get Ohtani.
No, it was Vaughn, Kopech, and like 2 or 3 of your best prospects for Ohtani.
I mean, yeah, but like now Colson Montgomery, I think, right?
It'd be Montgomery and like.
That's the thing. You can't even name the second best.
I would do it. I would do it.
Yeah.
For Ohtani?
Ohtani literally fills in for Michael Kopech and Andrew Vaughn. He is those guys.
That's true.
I love Andrew Vaughn too, and I love Michael Kopech.
Ohtani has a lot better numbers than Andrew Vaughn.
And he hits new. Could you imagine him?
He actually hits home runs.
He would hit he might put up 60 homers.
But then Tony would platoon him so they could get the
Oh
righty
my God,
match.
it would be, and he would just come out and be like,
Nah,
"We
he's
need
a
a
lefty. We
wrestler."
don't want him in here today.
Well, hopefully Tony's gone after this year.
I don't
think
know,
they
man.
won't fire Tony, but someone needs to talk to him and be like, "Bro, we will pay you double to be an advisor. Like, just go away."
Just please leave.
And please,
You're
once they get rid of Tony, I hope they hire someone under the age of 60.
Who's
I don't
even
feel
out?
like I'm asking too much. I just want young blood, dude. Like, I'm sick of like old people doing like, I'm not being ageist, but it's just like, get a young blood in there.
Especially in MLB. Well, I mean, across sports, we did see like a giant wave of just like younger guys.
Yes.
And then the White Sox were like, nope.
Yep, we're seeing
The other
it.
way.
And you're right. It's not just in baseball. It's in other sports.
Yeah,
Look
like
at
the NFL has like coaches like in their 30s.
But again, I always come back to this. If this team needed to like get fired up, which again, I guess it goes to this show with Tim Anderson being gone, who's giving that speech? Because it's not Tony. It's not Tony. Tony's not giving any.
Really, Lance Lynn? I don't even know.
I just don't think you could take. I would start laughing. I'm sorry, but if like I saw Lance Lynn like jumping around, fired up, like flipping shit, like going crazy, like I'd probably start laughing.
You know who I could see
hanging
it?
out.
You know, I could see it, and like it would kind of be weird because he's like, you know, a young guy who hasn't played a lot. But like, I think Sebi has that in him. I think I can see Sebi flipping.
I've literally never heard Sebi talk.
But he got fired up. Like
honestly, I met him, quote unquote, at Sox says, and like the brief interaction, just like one word answer, like nothing.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
Other guys are like,
he was still shy. He was still shy.
It's either
I
that
guess
or
so.
I just think it's gonna be like one of those movies where like they're down and out, like they need that rah-rah speech, no one's giving it, and then like out of nowhere,
Danny Mendick comes in on
Danny
crushing.
Mendick in
he
his
completely breaks character, and Andrew Vaughn just goes ballistic, and they're all just like, "Dude, you've said 5 words this whole season." Like, yeah, he gives
Yeah,
like the laser eyes, like, and he's just like, "We need to fucking go," and he just like goes crazy, and they're just like, "Holy shit, where'd that come from?" And then they win the fucking division. As he strikes out, he literally struck out as I was saying that.
Good call. Well, that's what's gonna set him off. Like
Yeah. Some weirdo with a mullet that looks like he deals meth on the side just struck him out, and yeah. All right, I think we all know what time it is.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, let me get it.
Oh, you got it, Zah? All right.
I got it. Let me get it. Where's it at? Hold on, there we go. It's everybody's favorite new segment on this very baseball show. It is time. You know what that music means. It's NASCAR Minute time with NASCAR Mitch. Let's go, Mitch.
So it was an emotional week for us, us Busch
emotional.
Light fans. As you know, the Busch Apple is being discontinued after next year. So Kevin Harvick, the Busch driver, it was his last ever race in the Busch Apple car. So farewell to that beauty. But they were in Michigan Speedway this week in the Irish Hills, Ford Country. But it was a Toyota.
the Irish Hills.
Yep. Ford's backyard. But it was a Toyota weekend. The Toyotas were fast, none faster than Bubba Wallace, who won the first career pole of his.
Toyotas were fast.
Toyotas were rocking in practice, walking in qualifying. Bubba Wallace in the McDonald's 23 car, Michael Jordan's team. He gets the pole, first ever career pole. He needs a win to get in the playoffs too. 16 playoff spots total. There's been 14 winners, only 2 spots left. So he needs a win. He got the pole. He was fast. Not only him though, the rest of the Joe Gibbs Toyotas, they're also pretty fast. So Joe Gibbs sitting pretty. Toyota's happy. But disaster strikes early. Kyle Busch, he pits early. So now he's in the back of the field with the scrubs because he's got cycled back after the pit stop. Sure enough, one of the scrubs in the 15 car, he gets a little loose. He collects the 34 in a wreck. Who collects the 2? The 2 goes bashing into the wall nose first. Austin Cindric and his beautiful discount tires Ford. It's destroyed. Guess who else got caught up in it? Kyle Busch, because he pit early, got caught up with the scrubs. His day ruined. He had a car that was fast enough to win the race. Not anymore. Front tire rod broken. 18's day is over. But Joe Gibbs had plenty Toyotas left. still speed. 42 to go in the race. 3 Toyotas up front. Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, and Bubba Wallace. Christopher Bell, he's running second here. He sees Ross Chastain. We've heard of Ross Chastain before. He's notorious for wrecking guys.
Brandon Chastain's son.
Yep. He's a lap down, so he's trying to get back on the lead lap. So he comes barreling down on Bell. Bell panics. He tries to throw a late Brock. Chastain goes to the outside. Bell collects him in the back. That was a big mistake. Got a little over anxious. Bell goes flying into the wall. He destroys the right side of his car. His day done. So now it's just Denny Hamlin left and Denny Hamlin has a fast car too. He's fast enough to win. Final pit stop of the day. Lap 160. Penalty incurs. The tire comes loose. The rear tire changer didn't kick it back to the jack man. Tire goes rolling into the pit stall. Mechanic comes over the wall, picks up the tire. Too many men over the wall. He gets a penalty, sends him to the back, ruins his day. So Bubba is the Toyota's final hope, final restart of the race. Bubba Wallace, he's up front. He chooses the upper lane. Gets kind of a rough restart. Kyle Larson's battling with them. So now he's battling. Kyle Larson kind of got a better push off for the guy in front. So Bubba now has to pass Joey Logano for second. They're battling for second here. Bubba's got a faster car. Joey ain't backing down, though. He's throwing blocks for him. Joey Logano's also aggressive. Bubba's got the faster car, though, so he's kind of battling with them. Logano holding him off. Finally, Bubba makes the pass. But while all this is happening, guess who's pulling away?
No.
It's the Busch Apple number 4 Ford with Kevin Harvick.
Goddamn.
He's got the clean air. He's out in front. Gets a 4-second lead. He's the closer for a reason. No one's going to catch him. He broke over a 60-race winless streak. Kevin Harvick in his final start with the Busch Apple Ford wins at Michigan. He clinches a playoff spot, and Bubba he gets a disappointing second. He was crying in the post-race press conference. I felt bad for him, but, what are you going to do? Busch Apple is the winner of the day. And a Ford takes home the victory in Michigan. There's your NASCAR.
Big question after that. By the way, phenomenal job as always. You get me fired up. I don't even know how I'm going to go to sleep tonight. But when there's a penalty in NASCAR, do they throw a wrench? How do they like?
So usually there's a couple ways to get a penalty. So there was Ross Chastain last week where he took the access road, cut everyone in the field.
Right,
basically
that was hilarious. Yeah.
But after the race, he got a 30-second penalty. So they add 30 seconds to his final time, and that's just race.
Okay.
That's one way you can get it. Another way, if you're speeding on pit road, they'll tell you have to move to the back of the field. So you'll have to move to the inside, hold up, wait for everyone to pass you, and then you end up in the back. Or if there's a restart, you'll have to go to the back as well.
And
so that's kind of what happened with Denny. And Denny ended up finishing.
You said he got the clean air. What does that mean?
Okay, good question. So with these cars, you have the grill in front. And a lot of times, if you have a car in front of you, it kind of disrupts your airflow. So if you're not getting enough air in the front of the car, it kind of hinders its speed a little bit. So a lot of these cars, drafting. Yeah. So draft
behind the dude. Yeah.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword because you want to draft, but when you have guys in front of you, you're getting dirty air. So sometimes it makes it hard to pass. So that Joey Logano a couple years ago with the older car.
I'm sorry, but every time you say Joey Logano, I think he's in NSYNC or something like that. I'm sorry. That's what I think of right away.
Joey Logano, he's kind of a psycho. He's like a nerd with these. He always squints all the time. He's got these glasses. He's always smiling, but he's a psycho on the racetrack.
Now I gotta look this guy up.
He'll wreck people, and then afterwards, that's just short track racing. It's Jesus Christ, dude.
Joey, how do you spell his last name?
Logano.
Loguano.
But anyway, there was a race a couple years ago with Kevin Harvick, where Kevin Harvick every time to make it a pass, Logano would angle his car in a way where it just got dirty air up in his grill, and so it would slow him down, and he couldn't make the pass. So
this guy looks like a fucking nerd.
Yeah, but he's a psycho. I'm telling you,
he looks Zach Collins.
Yeah,
look at this guy. Aldo, hold on. He's got lazy eye, got receding hairline. This dude is scary looking.
What was the other thing with Joey Logano when he came in? Was it just he was really young? Or something?
Yes. Okay. So this is also because he's a really aggressive driver. Like I said, he'll wreck people for no reason. Just barrel people.
No names.
But NASCAR kind of created their own monster here because he, like Aldo said, joined when he was.
I'm so sorry.
I know. My cousin just gave up a home run.
Oof, that's tough.
Pinwheels, reverse bump.
But Logano, he came in when he was 18, and so he's the youngest driver in the circuit, and all these older guys, like Ryan Newman, who's this big fat guy, he would always bully him. They'd be like, hey, like, why did you like box me out? Like, you can't pass me. He's like, well, it was like my line, sir. And he'd be like pushing him in pit row. He's like, don't you ever do that again. And so eventually he just got sick of being bullied by all these guys. So he's like, screw it. I'm just running through everyone. So like NASCAR kind of created their own monster with Joey Logano.
I kind of love Joey Logano.
Hold on. I'm pulling up his picture here in a minute. You guys got to see
Psycho
this.
pick.
Fucking nerd.
By the way, Mitch, at what point of your NASCAR fandom did you go from like kind of looking forward to, oh my god, that's a creepy smile,
especially when he has his glasses on. He like eats, sleeps, and breathes racing too. I remember that Fox asked him to do a promo for, I think it was like a football game, and he's like, "Yeah, like watch the stickball sport," and they're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He's like, "I don't know. I don't really watch other sports."
At what point did you go from just cheering for crashes and then actually cheering for the competition?
Solid question. Solid.
That is a very solid question. Look, I still kind of like root for like crashes too. I'm kind of like a meathead fan. Like I like solid racing and all, but like the Indianapolis race last week, I loved it because there's all these guys trying to barrel in through. It was like a White Sox parking lot, but everyone's going 90 miles an hour. They're all trying to barrel towards the exit. So I thought it was great, but all these NASCAR purists are like, oh, that's not good racing. But I would say second year watching, once I kind of understood the strategy and everything, and you can appreciate all the little stuff that's going on, some of the science behind it, then I was
fair enough. Well, that was fantastic. These NASCAR minutes do not disappoint, Mitch. They do not disappoint. I get fired up. I couldn't wait to pull the trigger on that. That was beautiful. But well, this game's over because the Royals scored 4 runs, so the White Sox are out.
During NASCAR, boy, that stinks.
Yeah, it's 4-3. The White Sox are incapable of scoring more than 4 runs. So you go ahead, everyone, just go ahead, kiss that baby goodnight, go to sleep because it's this ball game. But yeah, I got nothing else this week. I'm just trotting along like everybody else, man. And I will never say a bad thing about Tim Anderson on the internet again. Or I would never.
It wasn't even that bad. Just don't
never tweet anything about Tim Anderson.
I'm just never going to tweet anything about Tim Anderson ever again. I learned that lesson. But for NASCAR Mitch, it's the homie Aldo. I'm Zoe. We will see you guys next week.